Zamfara State Government approves 50 million naira for renovation of NYSC camp. The Zamfara State Government has expressed concern over the current security situation in the state. Minister of Health says coronavirus patients to be discharged soon. On business, dollar hits 410 on black market as demand urges. And on the international scene, Spain minister tests positive for coronavirus. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. My name is Samira Ibrahim. Now the news in full. The Zamfara State Government has approved the release of 50 million naira for the renovation and upgrading of the state NYSC permanent camp in Svtv local government area of the state. Governor Bello Mohammed Matawalle made this known at the swearing-in ceremony of the 2020 Batch A Stream 1 co-members held at a permanent orientation camp. Represented by the Commissioner for Youth Development, Skills Acquisition and Sports, Abdul Qadir Buhari Gora, said government is also looking in the request of 33 kV generator, utility vehicle, office accommodation, among others, with a view to solving some of the challenges confronting NYSC. He called on the management of the NYSC to avoid relocating of co-members posted to the state and other places as they need their services. The governor also commended the effort of President Muhammadu Buhari for increasing the allowance of the co-members to 33,000 naira monthly. Speaking earlier, the Zamfara State coordinator of the scheme, Mohammed Namalan Taura, urged the co-members to be law-abiding citizens in the camp and in their places of primary assignments when posted out. Over 1,500 co-members were posted and registered in the camp, which includes medical doctors, pharmacists, lawyers, social scientists, and educationists, among others. The Zamfara State Government has noted the growing concern of the general public in the state regarding recent development in terms of the security situation in the state. The government has assured the citizens of the state that the administration of Governor Bello Mohammed Matawalle Maradon is working around the clock to ensure the hard-earned peace in the state is not scot-led by anyone, no matter the cost. The government has succeeded in reaching a peace accord with more than 80% of the over 100 groups of erstwhile bandits operating in the state, which brought the peace we are currently enjoying. More so, the repentant bandits are assisting the security operatives in neutralizing the remaining groups who refuse to cooperate, which has so far yielded all desirable results in the past. However, due to the porous nature of our borders, bandits from neighboring states are making dangerous incursions into some of our villages, especially in Gumi, Bukuyun, Anka, and Maru local government areas, with very unfortunate incidences taking place there. The public is therefore urged to continue assisting the security operatives with intelligence by reporting any suspicious movement within their locality. The government said, together we shall defeat all evil and liberate Zamfara State from the evil ones. The High Court of Federal Capital Territory, Maitama, Abuja, has cleared the way for the All Progressives Congress APC Emergency National Executive Committee NEC meeting slated for next week. The Nation reports that the court restrained the National Working Committee NWC members loyal to National Chairman Adams Oshomole from obstructing the conduct of the meeting, which is expected to decide the fate of the embattled former Edo State Governor. Mr. Justice S.U. Bature granted an interim order against Babatunde Ogala, National Legal Advisor, Laure Isa Onilu, National Publicity Secretary, and Waziri Bulama, National Secretary. He warned them not to disrupt the NEC meeting scheduled for March 17, 2020, or any subsequent date pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice already filed. The court ruled on ex parte filed by APC National Vice Chairman Northeast Salihu Mustapha against the trio. Mustapha is one of the Oshomole Moscow NWC members. Daily Post recalls that Ogala Isa Onilu and Bulama had kicked against the NEC meeting. They called the invitation to NEC members announced by Victor Giadom, the Deputy National Secretary, illegal, stating that the APC constitution provides how a NEC meeting shall be convened. Mr. Victor Giadom is not vested with any constitutional powers to convene any NEC meeting, neither has he been so directed by the national chairman. They advised NEC members to ignore the notice and or invitation described as a product of mischief that should not be given any probative value. Last week, the NWC released the names of new national officers it said were nominated by stakeholders. This was hours after same High Court of FCT, which gave the latest ruling suspended Oshomole. Apart from Bulama, who was named National Secretary, former Oyo State Governor Abiola Ajimobi emerged as the Deputy National Chairman South and Paul Chukwuma as the National Auditor. The appointment evoked condemnations by some state APC chapters. According to them, the new NWC officials were not unanimously adopted by their respective zones as claimed. Some analysts, party stalwarts and members believed that Bulama, Ajimobi and Chukwuma were hurriedly included in the NWC to ensure that Oshomole has a good number on his side as the plot to oust him thickens. Cases of certificate forgery abound in the country, from notable politicians to the lowly placed in the society. The list of those caught is endless. Frank Epefan writes that little wonder National Examination Council (NECO), an examination body, has sacked 89 members of staff for the same offense. Like a house built on faulty foundation, the careers of some workers at the National Examination Council (NECO) have come crashing, and what they have left to deal with may be rubbles. About 89 of them have been disengaged by the examination body within the space of 3 months in the ongoing nationwide verification exercise by the examination body. Majority of them, who were alleged to have falsified their results certificate, belong to the lower cadre. Most of them are in the categories of executive officers and general duties. They are on the Consolidated Research and Allied Institutions salary structure, levels 06 and 08. Out of the 89 members of staff, only 5 are chief examination officers, on Conrise 12, 4 principal examination officers, and 6 senior examination officers. For many years, the dismissed workers might have thought they were building careers. Many of them would have envisioned sitting at the helms at some point in future, or retire quietly into a life of comfort after 35 years of service. Or at some point in their aborted careers, they might have felt jolted when they remembered their crimes, knowing that the credentials they paraded were fixed. In Nigeria, cases of certificate forgery are very rampant, from notable politicians to the lowly placed in the society. The list of those caught is endless. Some individuals engage in the act of forgery for one reason or the other, with the intent to deceive, and the act is gaining popularity by the day. Although there are laws in place to deal with forgery, however, cases of prosecution arising from certificate forgery have remained low in the country. For the 89 NECO members of staff, the road has come to an end for their careers. NECO is an examination body that conducts the Senior Secondary Certificate Examination (SSCE) and the General Certificate in Education (GCE) in June, July, and November, December, respectively. It also conducts examination for pupils seeking admission into the 104 unity colleges in this country. The examination body was created by former head of state Abdulsalami Abubakar in April 1999 as an indigenous examination body in Nigeria. It was the first federal organization to offer subsidized registration to candidates in their academic careers in Nigeria. The council, since Abubakar Gana took over in 2018 as the acting registrar, chief executive officer, CEO, has been undergoing reforms. One of such major reforms is the verification of certificates of its workers. Last year, the management of the council set up a staff certificate verification committee headed by Mustafa Abdul, a director in the agency, to check certificates used by its workers to gain employment into the agency. The verification exercise has been sending with skeletons in their cupboards since it began. A policeman simply identified as Tololupe has allegedly shot his wife dead after later committed suicide. The incident occurred in the university town of Okuba Okoko in Oko's southwest local government area of Ondo State. The co, who is attached to Ogumba Police Division, was said to have pulled a trigger when an argument erupted between him and his wife. According to neighbors, the couple have running dispute over frequent telephone calls received by the wife from undisclosed person. The Public Relations Officer of Ondo State Police Command, Assistant Superintendent of Police Tilio Ikoro, confirmed the incident. He described the incident as unfortunate, adding that investigation has commenced to ascertain the remote and immediate causes of the incident. PPRO Ikoro disclosed that preliminary investigation revealed that the couple were alone in their apartment when the incident happened, making it difficult to know what actually happened. The couple was survived by their 2-year-old child and a 3-week-old baby. The Nigerian Navy has opened its application portal for its 2020 recruitment exercise. According to the Nigerian Navy, the recruitment portal was opened March 11th and will close on Tuesday, 21st April 2020. In a statement by the Nigerian Navy, it noted that the application is free and can only be done and submitted online. It added that applicants must be between the ages of 18 to 21 years or 18 to 26 years for those with ND and NCE, nurse, motor transport department respectively. Applicants with qualifications higher than those specified in the guidelines should not apply. Also, the government agency said that applicants must be citizens of Nigeria by birth and not married or have children. Similarly, those interested in the recruitment were warned not to present fake credentials and must be free from past criminal conviction by the court of law. The Navy warned that those with some medical challenges like sight problem, air problem, communicable diseases, mental problems, stammering, or any physical disability should not apply, adding that applicants who have tattoos should do the same. It said the date for the recruitment aptitude test will be posted on the NN portal in due course. To start the recruitment process, applicants are to visit the Nigerian Navy recruitment portal before the closing date, April 21st. The 15th Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, made his way into the palace hours after receiving his letter of appointment from Kano State Governor Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. Hundreds of Kano residents stormed the palace to witness the Emir's traditional entry into the palace through a carved door, a traditional symbol that seals Bayero's installation as Emir. Royal guards and traditional dances featured as the Emir entered the traditional Soro, Shekara, and then to Soron Ingila, which is the Emir's official residence within the palace, where he receives homage from members of the royal family and other traditional rulers. A graduate of mass communication from Bayero University, Kano, and a trained pilot, Bayero spent most of his life serving the Kano Emirate. He held many traditional titles including Sarkin Dawakin Tsakar Gida and Wambai of Kano. He was the Emir of Bichi before his appointment as the Emir of Kano. According to sources within the Kano Emirate, Bayero is one of the most loved emirs after his father, who united the palace during his reign as the Sarkin Dawakin Tsakar Gida, and further extended his influence when appointed as Wambai of Kano. In the coming days, Bayero will be fully engaged in normal traditional functions, including presiding over the meeting of the Kano Council of Traditional Rulers. A special Turban festival is also scheduled to hold in honor of the Emir, as well as special prayer sessions for peace and stability in Kano. Minister of Health Dr. Isagi Ihaniwe says that the Italian man, the index case of coronavirus in Nigeria, will be discharged soon. The minister disclosed this on Thursday in Abuja during a conference with the diplomatic community about measures taken by the federal government to tackle the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Dr. Ihaniwe stressed that there are only 2 confirmed cases in Nigeria as of now. This, according to him, include the index case and the second who was a primary contact of the index case. The 44-year-old Italian citizen was confirmed to have the COVID-19 after a series of tests were carried out by the Virology Laboratory of Lagos University Teaching Hospital in February. The Commissioner of Health in Lagos, Professor Akin Abayomi, had earlier disclosed that the health of the coronavirus patients was improving. He said this on February 29th while addressing journalists and giving an update on the patient who was being managed at the mainland hospital in Yaba, Lagos. Professor Abayomi urged the residents not to panic and assured them that the government was putting necessary measures in place to curb the spread of the virus. Coronavirus outbreak has become a global threat, with the World Health Organization who describing it as a pandemic. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom told reporters on Wednesday that the spread of the coronavirus is frightening. COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic. We have never before seen a pandemic sparked by a coronavirus. Mr. Tedros Adhanom stated that the spread and severity of the deadly new coronavirus, which has infected more than 110,000 people and killed more than 4,000, is alarming. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back on Business. Over to Rita.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The pressure on the local currency intensified on Thursday as $1 traded for 410 naira at the black market. Foreign exchange users are buying up the dollar to upheave against potential devaluation of the naira as the price of oil has slumped below $34 per barrel. Investigation shows that dollar was quoted at 410 naira and dollar at Apapa, Lagos, while in Festac area of the state it closed at 400 naira and dollar. In the long term, the naira depreciates against the US dollar in line with the differences in affiliation between the two currencies. Trying to stop the naira from depreciating has proven a fallen activity. According to Coronation Merchants Bank Limited, the bank believed that the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) could keep the exchange rate at close to 362.50 naira and dollar for most, if not at all, of 2020. But the effect, the bank said, could add pressure on the naira as its fair value slipped against the US dollar. And that's all on Business Desk. Until I come your way again, I'm Rita.
And on the international scene, tourists speak to staff members at the entrance of El Prado Museum in Madrid on March 12, 2020, after all the Madrid state-run museums were closed to the public due to the coronavirus outbreak. Spain struggles to handle a quadrupling of cases in 3 days, taking the number of infections above 2,048 deaths, with Madrid, the worst-hit area, accounting for more than half of the cases. Spain's equality minister has tested positive for coronavirus and has been quarantined with her partner, Deputy Prime Minister, and Podemos leader Pablo Iglesias, a government statement said on Thursday. The statement said the minister, Irene Montero, is in a good condition, and second Deputy Prime Minister Pablo Iglesias is also in quarantine due to the situation. The statement said that all members of the government will undergo testing, adding that the results will be published later in the day. The announcement was made barely 2 hours before the government was to convene a special cabinet meeting to discuss an emergency plan of action to respond to the coronavirus crisis. The statement said, although the meeting will go ahead, it will only include those ministers whose presence was essential. And all of Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's upcoming appointments will be conducted by a video conference. The statement came as Spain struggles to handle a quadrupling of cases in 3 days, taking the number of infections above 2,000 and 48 deaths, with Madrid, the worst hit area, accounting for more than half of the cases. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State Government approves 50 million naira for renovation of NYSC camp. The Zamfara State Government has expressed concern over the current security situation in the state. Minister of Health says coronavirus patients to be discharged soon. For business, dollar hits 410 naira on black market as demand urges. And on the international scene, Spain minister tests positive for coronavirus. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs, Alhaji Ibrahim Garbatini, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News.